Hello my beautiful hammerheads and welcome to Black Library Reviews Part 12. First of all, I'm sorry for the clickbaity title, but 40K Thunderwarriors in Age of Sigmar sounds better than Thunderwarriors in Age of Sigmar, because some people are going to say, but those are just the Stormcast Eternals. No, that is not what I mean. But before we dive into this piece of lore, spoiler warning for the short story Monsters, an Yndrasta short story written by Noah van Nguyen. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. It's an amazing piece of short story. At first I was a bit skeptic because I'm not such an Yndrasta lore fan as much as I love the model, because for me she feels a little bit too two-dimensional. But with this story, oh boy, you're not going to believe this. So what do I mean with Thunder Warriors in Age of Sigmar? Because in this little short story we are getting an amazing piece of background story for the Age of Myth and Sigmar. But the basic premise is that Yndrasta is hunting over months a lot of change called the Anomia, and then the whole thing, what happened to Sigmar with Galmaraz, that he throws it after some chaosy dude and the hammer disappears, happens to her just with her spear. Thangava is the spear's name. So, and she isn't happy with the situation at all, so she flies after the spear into this portal dimension thingy and emerges in basically another dimension in which just one person resides. And this person is, first off, his name is Yovi, and he's a mortal, which is one of the most fascinating things about Yovi. But he's alive since the Age of Myth. So yes, for a mortal that's a long time. However, if we go back to the title of this video, Thunder Warriors in Age of Sigmar, Yovi was one of the predecessors for the Stormcast Eternals. Before the Stormcasts were a thing, Sigmar and Grungni took some mortals to lead their armies and gifted them powers to fight chaos, basically. And after a while, well, let's just say, the only thing Games Workshop loves more than Thunder Warriors is killing them. They had to dispatch them, and he survived this fallout of Sigmar. Basically, the whole knowledge of the Thunder Warriors is gone, and only a few certain individuals know that they were a thing before the Stormcasts. Yndrasta is one of them, and this is such a good part in the short story. Both of them are discussing Sigmar. Yndrasta, of course, defends Sigmar, or he's the best, or he's so amazing. But you know him, he's spiteful and he holds a grudge, blah blah blah. And Yovi is just like, no, he's a bad dude. He's not a good guy. We saw that, we tried to run, and he cut us down. And so it goes back and forth. I just can't recommend it enough how this discussion went out. So this isn't the first short story from Noah, which I really recommend. He's an amazing writer. Yeah, I really hope that this short story will give us an Yndrasta novel with how this evolves into more, and how she sees, oh yeah, Yovi was right. Sigmar isn't as good as we thought. But the inner conflict in her starts, and this is so much potential for the future. So I really do hope that there is more to come from Noah, and especially now Yndrasta, now that she's not a two-dimensional character anymore. So from my scale, from burn it to devour it, if you are a Stormcast fan, or if you want to know more about the background of the Age of Sigmar and Sigmar stuff, devour it. If you're just so, I need something to read and I want to learn a little bit more about the background, read it. I just can't recommend it enough. This is a really good piece of lore, and I want more of that. So for everyone who wants to hear me narrate the sample of the short story, please stick right up to the end. For the rest of you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I am keen to know what you have to say. And while you're down there, do all the YouTube stuff, because hitting buttons is fun. So, have a great day, my friend. Stay fantastic, stay hydrated, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Monsters, an Yndrasta short story, written by Noah van Nguyen, read by Beard Almighty. Yndrasta was coming in too fast. Through gusts of wind and gouts of rain, the Shaishan hill swelled beneath her. She could make out a tor of dust-grey stone, a baleful realm gate perched atop it. A midnight black battle line of Stormcast Eternals held back the horrors pouring from the portal's dismal spell-light. Watching them was like watching a dark fist grip wine from a spilled cask. The gibbering tide leaked through the battle line's fingers, running over its hands. Yndrasta grimaced. The anvils of the Beardhammer needed her. They needed her now. She tucked her wings, tightened her approach, ignoring her speed. Wind buffeted her. Rain pelted her Sigmarite warplate like barbarian arrows. Off her flank, the Night Venator and his flight of prosecutors chased to keep up. They were anvils of the Beardhammer too, dark-hearted and somber, Stormcast like Yndrasta, but only half-willing allies, pulled into her hunt by force of her will, by the terrible gravity of her legend. They did not fear Yndrasta, for Stormcasts never feared, but they were wary. Before the realm gate, through slashes of rain, a lord of change leered. The capricious greater demon had never been christened in mortal syllables. The shamans called it only the Anomia, the Nameless One. Even the anvils had been reluctant to face the Soul Eater's tricks. To Yndrasta, it was only prey. She was the Slayer. She dived. Her allies soared behind her, and their fusillade picked up. Thrice-blessed arrows and storm-call javelins cracked like lightning into the crack-crowded hilltop, hammering back the demonic tide. Gabbling pink horrors split asunder, each ruined half morphed into a more diminutive blue demon, weeping and morose. Then those were obliterated, and then again the things which their death spawned. Ungiving, the anvils held the hill's brow. They chanted Yndrasta's name, awaiting her arrival. She wondered if they'd relish the kill as she did. She wondered if it made their hearts pulse and their blood race. Shaish bulged closer. Behind the Anomia, the baleful realm gate's components floated in eerie patterns. Soon it would activate. Unless Yndrasta killed the Anomia first, the creature would escape. A bolt of sorcerous flame streamed just past her shoulder, scorching her pinions. An ice-white flash and the crack of thunder told her one of the prosecutors had not made it. Yndrasta hardly noticed. The kill. There was only the kill. The anomia screeched. Its clawed arms began unfolding in concentric shapes. Its vulture features hardened into scabrous corners, then swirled into a storm of kaleidoscopic light. Rain-soaked plumage and mottled flesh inflated into recursive bubbles. What emerged from the mutative storm was sickening and imponderable. Wings upon wings, eyes upon eyes, discs of bronze and purposeless flame. The sight was ineffable, profound. That was the sample of Monsters, an Yndrasta short story, written by Noah van Nguyen, read by Beard Almighty.